Hey guys, thanks for joining me. Today I'm giving you an update on my teeth and probably a little explanation as to why there might not be as many videos coming up. I had my braces done yesterday. This lipstick is very, very light. I had my braces done yesterday and the procedure itself was nowhere near as painful as I thought it would be. In fact, it wasn't painful at all, and it was nowhere near as scary as I thought it would be. Now, that may be because I will tell you that I took a diazepam. The dentist gave me a prescription for just 2 5mg diazepam. I took 1.5, one in the morning and then a half before I went, because I wanted to be able to drive. But I took that to calm me down because I'm terrified of the dentist as it is, and I didn't know what to expect with this procedure. The girl had told me that I needed to keep my mouth open for a certain amount of time while stuff dries, and that's the bit that really panics me, because if I feel like I can't swallow, I know you can swallow with your mouth open, but it's a lot more difficult, and when you're panicking I just start to go, ah, get off me, you know, that kind of thing. So I think it was really good that I took the diazepam, and it wasn't anywhere near as bad as I thought. They put a kind of plastic ring to hold your mouth open, which was nowhere near as uncomfortable as before. I've had kind of metal things holding my mouth open that are really uncomfortable, but with this plastic thing I could swallow. I could close my mouth enough to be able to swallow, and that made it all the much easier. And also, like I said, there was no pain at all with the whole procedure. When he took the rubber ring out, he did say to me, this is going to feel strange, and it did, and it still does. It just feels like I've got a mouthful of braces, which I do have. It's going to take some getting used to. So I thought, well, this is fine. I think when the way that I'm talking, and I talk in a different way because, well, firstly because obviously my mouth needs to get used to having these braces in them, but also I think you adjust because the braces rub against your lips, and the less movement you do, the less painful it is. So one of the first things I thought was, it's not as obvious as I thought. I really thought it would be obvious. Now, although I can see it, and although I think it's obvious that I'm talking differently, I think if you were far away from me, you might not necessarily know that I've got braces. You could probably just say, you know, that I'm speaking funny, and if you didn't know me, maybe you wouldn't even notice that. My dentist said that he actually went to a conference and didn't realise the guy he was speaking to had them. So I think it's really interesting. So that I'm quite pleased about. I was really pleased that there was no pain, and I said to them, oh, I haven't got any pain, and they said, you know, give it a couple of hours. It takes 2 or 3 hours before the pain kicks in. You know what, once again I've got my washing machine on spin while I'm doing a video. I'm so sorry. Anyway, so I came home, and that's kind of when the problems began, because I tried to eat my lunch, and I went to have oxtail soup and then realised you can't eat anything too dark because it will stain like there's rings around the blocks. So I decided to have a cheese sandwich, and I cut it up into small bites, and it was just so difficult to eat. And at this point it wasn't painful, it was just difficult because it just feels very weird. It's very hard to explain, but it was difficult. It felt like it was all getting stuck in my braces. It felt like I can't close my mouth properly, so it was very hard to chew it. So I feel like I was swallowing it before it was completely chewed up, which isn't very good. So I found that quite frustrating, but not a big deal, you know. My husband had already planned scrambled eggs for dinner with salmon throughout it. So that was that. Then a few more hours passed and I started to be in agony. My jaw hurts from kind of here down. I can feel my bones aching. In particular, one tooth hurts. And the funny thing is that it's the tooth there's 2 teeth that stick up from the others. And they're the ones that we're trying to straighten. So it kind of makes sense to me that those are the ones that are hurting. Now, the trouble is, when I take painkillers, I have to eat something to take painkillers because I'm not very good at swallowing drugs. I can't just take a drink of water and swallow them. So that in itself was a problem, because by that point my teeth were so sore that not only was it difficult to eat anything, but eating anything was painful, because putting my teeth together was painful. So I did manage to take some painkillers with dinner anyway, but dinner was scrambled eggs with this salmon through, and it was an extremely difficult meal to get through, and it was more like a chore. And I think because as I was eating, my lips were rubbing against the braces as well, and I'd been given some wax, but I hadn't really figured out how to use it. So that was that, and we kind of decided after dinner that for the rest of the week I'm going to go and buy some protein shakes today. I'm also going to make some soup that one of my lovely viewers who has her own channel, she's made a mushroom soup that looks lovely, so I'm going to try that today as well. And it's basically going to be a liquid soft diet for me for the next few days, because I've had like a yogurt for breakfast and that was very easy, no problem at all. And once the painkillers kicked in it was fine, but I can only really take 3 doses of these painkillers, so there'll be a period of the day where I'll just have to put up with it, you know. So I went to bed and slept no problem, didn't, you know, wake up in pain or anything, which is really good. But as soon as I woke up, I could feel the pain. Now the thing is, it didn't get any worse overnight, but I woke up with a headache anyway. So the first thing I do in the morning is take my painkillers. So I woke up with my usual headache. I woke up with pain in my teeth. But worse than that, my lips inside, I don't know whether you'll be able to see or whether you even want to see, covered in ulcers. And what that is from the braces rubbing on your lips. So I think it takes a while for your lips to get used to the abrasion. But like I said, they've given me this wax, but I woke up this morning and I was a bit tearful, to say the least, because I woke up and wanted to take my painkillers to get rid of the pain of my head and the bones, the teeth pain. But I couldn't eat anything because it was too sore, so I didn't know how I was going to swallow the tablets. And then I tried to put the wax on these braces and I couldn't figure it out, and I was just a bit of a mess. Anyway, husband to the rescue as always, and he, because he's had braces himself as a teenager, he showed me how to use the wax, and you just kind of ball it up and push it onto the braces, and then it's kind of softer against your lips. So that was just like an instant relief in itself. I'm going to go and buy some Bonjela today, the stuff that you can put on your lips and let it kind of dry, so that protects it, so that should help as well. And then he suggested me trying to eat my tablets with a yogurt, which I did, and that was no problem at all. So now I have figured that out, I'm not so upset. I think it was just, like I said, I woke up, my lips were shredded, everything was painful, and I couldn't see how I could take my painkillers or what I could do, so I feel a lot better now. So like I said, procedure was painless, in pain. Now the pain hasn't got any worse overnight, it's exactly the same as it was yesterday. I've just taken some more painkillers, so it's not unbearable even when it's painful, you know. It's just, if you were watching TV, it would be there, you know. So like I said, not unbearable, I'm not screaming in pain, but it's just like always there. But the thing is with these braces, I'm always aware of them, and that I only had them on yesterday, so I think that's going to take a good while before I become less aware of them. I can't remember if I said about the talking. I think I talk differently. In fact, I know I talk differently, I can see it. And I have already filmed this video once, but unfortunately I had a moustache, and it was because I'd put on my Estee Lauder bone, and I don't think I'm quite dark enough, and that's what happens to me. It kind of gathers on my lip here, and it just looked ridiculous. Anyway, I had watched myself and thought I do look a bit strange the way I'm speaking, but like I said, what I think is good is when I speak without moving my bottom lip so much, it's not quite as obvious, the braces aren't quite as obvious, which makes me feel better, but also you're not making such big movements, so there's not as much abrasion against the braces. So I think I'm not going to be as paranoid as I thought when I go to see my work colleagues, because the hospital I work in, I work on my own with another guy who himself has had adult braces actually, and he was telling me I'd talk differently. So that'll be fine, but when I have to go over to meetings at the other hospital, I don't think I'm going to be as embarrassed as I thought I was going to be, because like I said, I don't think it's as obvious as I thought. I'm kind of more embarrassed about the way I'm speaking, but there you go. I also filmed a couple of tutorials, but again, I had this moustache, so I'm not sure whether I'm going to put them up or not. But what I did notice in filming everything this morning was that the more I talk, the more painful it is. So I still wanted to film this teeth one for you so that I could tell you why there might be a gap in videos, because I think the less I talk over the next few days, the better. And the only times really I have to do my videos are Saturday, Sunday and my Monday off. Well, Saturday and Monday off because tomorrow is my day with my husband. And it's just such a shame because I've got a huge list of things to tell you guys about. I've found some amazing products that are really inexpensive, and I've got a haul to show you. There's a lot of stuff I've got to tell you about, but like I said, talking, the more I talk, the more it's rubbing against my teeth, and that's painful. So I'm just going to try and take a little time off. Now I have got a couple of videos to upload, because I'm going to try and upload this one today, which is Saturday. And I have got another couple of tutorials that I filmed last week that I have not yet made public or edited or uploaded. So there should still be a few videos coming up, and then there may be a lull, and that's just simply because I'm going to try not to film too much this weekend to avoid being too sore. So I'm sure you guys will bear with me and understand, and thank you for all your support so far, because when I did let you guys know that I was having braces, you all said, I had all of your support, and that was so nice to hear. I did do a video actually, a kind of before video, saying that I was having it done, but then my appointment got cancelled and it was all kind of out of sync. What I will do during this period of not doing videos is I'll be editing all the ones that I've done already, but I'm also going to update my vlog, which is my diary on my website, so www.mrsginger.com. So if you check on there, you can get the full details of kind of how I'm doing day by day. I will do that every evening because obviously that doesn't hurt to type. So I will update that, and any of the products that I wanted to tell you guys about, I'll also try and do a beauty blog on. You can check that out on the website too. So hopefully that will make it not too bad that I'm not doing as many videos. I don't think there's anything else to tell you about this. It's called CFAST, which I'll put probably in the title, but the system is called CFAST. It was created by my dentist that's doing it, and apparently I'm a complex case because I've got an unusual bite. His name is Bijou, and he works between Edinburgh and London. So a couple of you had asked if there was anybody in that area that does it, and definitely he does it in London, in Harley Street. I have got the details of the dentist if you would like it. If you would like any further details, then please do email me and I will give you his details to contact and see if you're interested. This is supposed to take 4 months. So I'll show you a close-up just now so that you can see exactly what it looks like. So that's a close-up of me talking, and as you can see it's a bit more obvious when you're close up, but still not overly visible. You can see why I'm having it done. You guys that know me will know that already. I have 2 teeth that just stick up at a completely different level to the others, but the reason I've got them on the top is not necessarily that they're out of place, because they're not. My top teeth are fairly straight, but it is to do with that bite problem. So I'll show you what it looks like with when you can see all of them. There's nothing behind the teeth at all, that's just all it is. So yeah, like I said, that should take 4 months to do. Whether or not it does take the 4 months, I think it's between 4 and 6 months, but they think 4 months is about the time it should take. So I will be super impressed if that does happen, because that will be by my birthday, and I have wanted straight teeth for as long as I can remember. So to have straight teeth by my birthday will just be amazing. I think the fact that I can't eat much is going to be pretty good for me, because it might kind of take away that snacking thing that I have. Now it's interesting because I do try and eat a high protein diet because of my hormone imbalance, but I'm going to stop taking metformin, because if you have too many carbs and metformin it can kind of make you feel a bit dodgy. So I'm going to stop my metformin because I'm not diabetic, I just have an insulin, I have too much insulin. So it's going to be difficult to eat high protein with having soft food, so like mashed potato, not high protein. But what I'm hoping it might do is train me not to snack as much. I think what I was going to say there was, because of the hormone imbalance, I do need to snack a lot. I can't just have breakfast, lunch and dinner, because my sugars do go down too low, or you know, it just kind of messes me up a bit and doesn't make me feel good. So I try to eat regularly. But I think it will be interesting to try again, because it's years since I've tried to just have breakfast, lunch and dinner. And it'll be interesting to get out of the habit of snacking. So I make these sugar-free chocolate balls with sesame seeds on. I'm not going to be able to have those. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how I get on. My plan is to have porridge for breakfast, a yogurt mid-morning to let me take my tablets, a protein drink at lunchtime, and then mashed potato or something like that for dinner, or soup maybe. But obviously I can't have the bread with the soup. So I think that's everything. If you've got any other questions, then please feel free to stick them in the comments and I will do my best to answer them. So far, which is day 2, I don't regret it at all. Despite waking up and being a bit upset and being in pain, I don't regret it at all. I think this will be totally worth it. I think this is totally livable. You know, it's not, I'm not going to be miserable every day, and I think this is probably as worse as it gets. The girl had said to me, if I can go through the first 2 weeks, then the rest of it is kind of easy. But even now, like I said, it's not great and it's difficult, but it doesn't make me regret it, and I'm just really excited for the end result. So I hope that that was interesting to you. There's not much information out there about CFAST, but I think this is going to be huge, because the fact that it is so fast is really appealing to people. And it is, I won't tell you too much about the price, because that varies depending on, it varies so much depending on the area you live in and how complex your case is. Because mine is complex, it's a different price, but it is a lot less expensive than Invisalign and a lot quicker. So Invisalign would be like 4,000 or 5,000. This is more in the 3,000 or 4,000, again depending how complex. Mine's quite complex. Invisalign again takes 1 to 2 years, this takes 4 to 6 months, so there's a big difference. The reason that it takes less time, I believe, is that the concentration on this is on the front 6 teeth, top and bottom, rather than the whole teeth. although this is attached right to the back, the concentration is on the ones that you can see when you smile, so it takes less time. I don't know whether this is a new technology, these clear braces, because I certainly haven't seen that anywhere else, but that again makes a difference, because if I had metal, it would be very difficult to hide. And with the Invisalign braces, you have to take them out every time you eat. This is just on, and you eat and drink as normal. And that's something else that I love about this over Invisalign, actually, because so I did look into the Invisalign and have, like, you know, all the x-rays and everything beforehand. But with Invisalign, you have to take, you have trays, then you have little blocks on your teeth, and you have to take the trays out every time you eat or drink. Except water, which I thought would be really, that would be a real pain for me, because I drink a lot of tea. As long as I can drink my tea, pretty much I'm going to be happy. So I'm happy. And I don't think Invisalign is that much less visible than these. Anyway, I'm starting to ramble now, and I need to stop talking, because like I said, talking hurts. So I hope that that was interesting for you. Any questions, stick them in the comments. I will update you. I'm not going to put a specific time on it, so I'm not going to do like one a month or one every week or anything like that. I'm just going to update you again when I feel like there's something new to tell you, and if there's any progress, and if there's any less or more pain, if eating, you know, my eating habits changing. I'm going back in 1 month to have it tightened. I should have said that, how often you have to have it tightened. So I'm going back in 1 month, 4 weeks. I don't know whether it's to have it tightened or just to change the bands. But I know the night before it, I can eat a curry, and I intend to. So, did I tell you the things you can't eat? You can't eat anything that is tomato based or turmeric based. So anything that is going to stain. These blocks have little rubber rings around them and can get stained. So I can't eat tomato soup, curry, or red wine. I mean, I don't drink wine anyway, so that's fine. That doesn't really bother me at all, that you just need to be careful, except for the curry. That's the thing I'll miss, because I do like a good curry. So I'm going to have a curry the night before I go for the changing of the rings, because they've told me I can, and then they just put fresh ones on. My only concern then was if the appointment got cancelled, I might look really weird, but hey ho. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling and let you go, and like I said, I will update you again when there is a change. So thank you very much for joining me today. Thank you so much for bearing with me for all of this. Thank you for all of your support, and I will see you again very soon.